This video breaks down one of the most surprising relay victories in recent history, Colombia's stunning gold in the men's 4x400 meters at Lima. We'll analyze the race step by step, from early positioning and tactical discipline to the nerve-wracking anchor leg by Anthony Zambrano. How did Colombia outsmart the traditional sprint powers? Let's dive into the strategy, execution, and key moments that changed everything.
Starting out of lane 6, Jamaica.
En el carril número 6, Jamaica.
Beginning in lane number 5, the United States of America.
En el carril número 5, Estados Unidos.
Lane 4, the Dominican Republic.
En el carril número 4, República Dominicana.
In lane 3, Cuba.
Carril número 3, Cuba.
And starting out of lane number 2, Peru. And in lane 1, Venezuela.
Y en el carril número 1, Venezuela.
The men's 4x400 meters relay final.
Final, relevo 4x400 metros, hombres.
The athletes go forward out to the track in men's 4x400 meter relay final. All of the athletes making strong starts around that first bend. Remember, the first leg running in lanes, and then the changeover. Their second leg athletes will remain in their lanes for the opening bend of the second leg before breaking on the back straight of leg number 2. Going very well on Colombia in lane 8.
En ustedes, Perlaza sexto en la final individual. Estos hombres se mantienen en su carril hasta los primeros 500 metros de carrera. Perlaza de Colombia, en ustedes también Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago avanza por el carril número 7, son los campeones defensores. Jamaica, Estados Unidos con una gran carrera de ustedes buscando medalla. República Dominicana para el primer cambio. Perlaza, Colombia, Trinidad and Tobago y República Dominicana cambian primeros. Así van las posiciones cuando vamos para la segunda ronda de cambio.
45-25 for the first leg in this men's 4x400 meter final. The athletes on the second leg hit the back straight and now break for the rail. It is Colombia, Trinidad and Tobago, also going on Dominican Republic, Santos, Jamaica in 4th. And in contact on the top end between Trinidad and Tobago and Colombia. Together, but now the athletes have kept their stride as they come in to change onto the third leg athletes.
Orlando de Trinidad y Tobago, vean ustedes, los campeones defensores quieren correrse acá, se van durmiendo Colombia. Solís, qué clase de carrera se está gastando. Colombia primero, Trinidad segundo, Estados Unidos por la tercera posición. Cambian los hermanos Santos, Walter Alumerín quiere meterse medalla. Cuba, después sigue también Jamaica y Bahamas.
So Colombia being pursued by Trinidad and Tobago on this third leg. In third place, the United States of America, the Dominican Republic in 4th, Cuba in 5th, Venezuela in 6th. The athletes strung out down the back straight. Jamaica making headway as they try to move up into medal contention. It's a terrific third leg for Jamaica. They're still out in front of Colombia, but Trinidad and Tobago and the United States closing quickly.
A cerrar el campeón panamericano Zambrano por Colombia. Vean ustedes, Serenio, un buen cierre por Trinidad y Tobago. Robinson con tremenda carrera. Cherry por Estados Unidos. Va a ser un final de cierre. Estados Unidos y Colombia, los 4x400. Cedillo buscando medalla de oro. Quiere refrendar la corona ganada hace 4 años en Toronto. La medalla Trinidad, Estados Estados Unidos y Colombia.
What a terrific third leg by the United States of America. They made the final change in first place, and they are in first at the moment. Colombia second, Trinidad and Tobago third, and now there's a change on the back straight because it's Trinidad and Tobago who take the lead. US in second, Colombia third. The athletes coming into the 200-meter mark and around the bend for the final time, entering the home straight. USA looking to make a move to regain the lead.
Marshall Cedillo, Will London cerrando por Estados Unidos. Vamos, campeón de defensor, quiere llevarse la corona. Vean ustedes a Zambrano de Colombia, campeón de Colombia, Colombia, Zambrano, Colombia, 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 medalla de oro para Colombia, plata para Estados Unidos, bronce para la Trinidad and Tobago. Vean ustedes, este hombre se lleva 2 medallas de plata, 2 de oro aquí cerrando Gibson y Venezuela con Bahamas, pero la medalla de oro, qué clase de carrera con récord nacional para Colombia. Vean ustedes, Zambrano consagra una gran carrera, oro individual aquí el pasado 8 de agosto y el día 10 se lleva otra medalla de oro para Colombia en el relevo 4x400.
An absolutely thrilling 4x400-meter relay final has been won by Colombia. A sensational anchor leg by the individual 400-meter champion Zambrano, who took Colombia home in a time of 3 minutes 01.41 seconds. In second place, United States of America, 3 minutes 1 second, 0.72, and Trinidad and Tobago rounding out the podium. An absolutely thrilling climax to the athletics program here. The men's 4x400 meters relay taken by Colombia, their first ever 4x4 gold in Pan Am Games history.
The men's 4x400 meters relay final at the 2019 Pan American Games in Lima stands as one of the most tactically refined and psychologically significant races in recent relay history. It was not simply a contest of speed. It was a demonstration of discipline, race intelligence, and the power of strategic patience against traditionally dominant sprint nations. From the outset, the race dynamics reflected a familiar hierarchy. The United States, with its deep relay tradition and individual strength, approached the opening leg with controlled aggression. Running in lanes, their objective was clear: establish early dominance, dictate tempo, and force others into reactive positions. Jamaica, known for its sprint pedigree, positioned itself close to the front, maintaining composure while avoiding unnecessary early expenditure. Trinidad and Tobago, always dangerous in relay formats, showed early intent to stay within medal contention. Colombia, however, adopted a fundamentally different approach, one rooted not in confrontation, but in calculation. Their first leg was not about winning the stagger. It was about preserving structural integrity. The athlete ran efficiently, avoiding tension in the stride and ensuring a clean transition into the first exchange zone. In relay events, especially the 4x400 meters, baton exchanges are often underestimated, yet they represent one of the most decisive technical components. Colombia's first exchange was executed with near-perfect timing and spatial awareness, allowing them to maintain momentum without disruption. The break to the rail after the first leg introduced the expected turbulence. This phase is often where races are lost rather than won. Athletes must navigate physical positioning, adapt stride patterns, and respond to surges, all while maintaining energy efficiency. The United States attempted to stretch the field here, applying pressure through an increased tempo. Trinidad and Tobago responded aggressively, moving into a provisional medal position, while Jamaica aimed to control rhythm rather than escalate it. Colombia's second leg was critical in maintaining the integrity of their race plan. Rather than engaging in these surges, their runner demonstrated exceptional tactical restraint. He held position, avoided unnecessary lateral movement, and preserved biomechanical efficiency. This decision was crucial. In high-level 400-meter racing, even marginal energy waste, a slight deceleration, an extra step to reposition, can have exponential consequences in the final stages. By the halfway mark, the race had entered a transitional phase. The early aggressors had established a demanding pace, but the cost of that effort was beginning to surface. This is where Colombia's strategy began to reveal its true strength. Their third leg acted as a bridge, not to gain immediate advantage, but to position the team optimally for the decisive final segment. The athlete maintained proximity to the leaders without entering the red zone physiologically. This balance between competitiveness and conservation is one of the most difficult aspects of relay execution, and Colombia achieved it with remarkable precision. All of this built toward the anchor leg, where championships are ultimately decided. Anthony Zambrano's role was not merely to run fast, it was to convert a strategically prepared position into victory. Entering the final exchange, the United States held a slight advantage, but the margins were minimal. More importantly, Zambrano entered the race with a distinct physiological and tactical advantage. He had not been forced into earlier overexertion, and his closing speed was among the best in the field. The first 100 meters of the anchor leg were controlled. Zambrano resisted the instinct to immediately attack, instead allowing his stride to settle into an efficient rhythm. This patience is often what separates elite anchors from merely fast runners. Down the backstretch, he began a progressive acceleration, not a sudden surge, but a calculated increase in cadence and force application. This type of acceleration is biomechanically efficient and psychologically destabilizing for opponents, as it creates the impression of inevitability. By the final curve, the gap to the United States had effectively closed. At this point, the race transitioned from physical to psychological. The American anchor, sensing the pressure, was forced to respond earlier than ideal. This premature response often leads to tightening mechanics and reduced efficiency in the final straight. Zambrano, in contrast, executed a near-perfect finishing phase. His transition off the curve was smooth, his posture remained upright, and his stride frequency increased without visible strain. The final 100 meters showcased not just speed, but composure under maximal effort. He did not panic, did not deviate from his form. He simply extended his advantage with controlled aggression. The result, 3 minutes, 1.41 seconds, was more than a national record. It was the product of a race executed with technical excellence across all 4 legs. The United States, finishing in 3 minutes, 1.72 seconds, and Trinidad and Tobago in 3 minutes, 2.25 seconds, delivered strong performances, yet both were ultimately undone by less efficient energy distribution and tactical responses. Jamaica's absence from the podium further underscored the unpredictability introduced by Colombia's execution. What makes this performance particularly significant is not just the outcome, but the method. Colombia did not rely on overwhelming individual superiority across all legs. Instead, they maximized collective efficiency. Their pacing strategy minimized early lactate accumulation, their baton exchanges preserved momentum, and their anchor leg capitalized on a precisely engineered race context. In broader terms, this race challenged the established relay paradigm in the Americas. It demonstrated that dominance in the 4x400 meters is not solely a function of raw speed depth, but of synchronization between athletes, between phases of the race, and between tactical intent and execution. Years later, the Lima 2019 final remains a case study in how underdog teams can disrupt established hierarchies. It highlights that in elite athletics, success is rarely accidental. It is constructed through preparation, discipline, and the ability to execute a plan under the most intense competitive pressure.